Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, good night, good day. This is Pro Dumpster Diver back at it again. I haven't been here in a while, so I did want to go ahead and do a nice upload for you. I was out yesterday, but I got some pretty amazing things to show you right now. As you can see, we'll go ahead and actually check this card out, which is the first one. Now, what you're looking at is what we actually call BPX. Okay, so this is actually used to run power from different parts of a corporate building. Inside of a house, you're going to find different gauge copper wire. With BPX, as you're going to pull it up, you're going to find wire that looks like this. And then you're going to have the thread that actually goes into a metal box, which, yep, I do have one right here. So it'll actually run into a box like this so they can properly use it. Now, again, they're pretty good to have. They may be a bit expensive depending on where you go. Sometimes you can post them online to see if people do need them. Right now, you can make a lot of money selling this. I do know the scrapyard loves this right now. This is a quick sell. So anytime you walk in with something like this, they'll pay you a certain percentage per pound depending on how much you have. So I'm not going to have the prices for you, but I will keep the receipts later on to actually show you how much this is. But this is very good to have right now. This is shielded, by the way. These are actually shielded on the inside double, so you have that brown part there, which is a special cardboard that keeps the white and the brown and the black wire connected, and then you have the special metal casing on the outside. They are a bit expensive, I will tell you, they're a bit pricey. Now what we actually have is we have these two parts here. I have seen them before. Actually, we have a paper diagram here from Null, and it has this bracket here, which is very nice for interrupting current. So this was basically used for a practical large apparatus, which is very nice. However, the copper inside of this is a large amount. As you can actually see here, I'll have to take a screwdriver and definitely pull this part out. But we have double green, double white, red, pink, brown, and then black. And all of this is thick copper right now. I'd give it a good 5 feet of copper. I would give it a good amount of 5 feet. Now I can easily pull that out once it's unscrewed and then take that part off there, but I have two of them. So that right there is good copper scrap. The rest of the metal I can just throw out or get a pricing on it, but it's probably only worth about 50 cents, which is pretty good. Here we have the regular cable wire. This is the actual Cat 5 and Cat 6, which they actually use for the internet. So again, I won't need that because in the previous videos, I have about 3,000 feet of that right now round up and ready to go, which is always, always good. So if I just got this cart today, I'd be ecstatic right now because I could already make a video on this and it's a quick sell. I'd already make my money, okay? Now, let's go to the next cart. So I'm going to move this cart back. And we're going to go to the next card. The next card is actually something simple. I was thinking about this for a while. I ended up getting access to a breaker box somebody put out. So now guess what? We got some silver scrap in here. I'm going to hit that with a hammer, take that out, put that in a bag, and take it home. We got these playing cards here. Someone actually threw these in a dumpster. I was like, oh, wait a minute. What's wrong with them? Nothing. They're actually still, if you can still see it, they're still sealed in plastic, by the way. All right? It's unopened. So someone actually just bought these and then didn't need them. But whoever did this, you bought a massive amount. So I have 4 packs. These are the large packs in here right now. It says Motor Brand High Quality, 976 plastic coated. And these are 12 decks inside of here of the standard playing cards right now. Okay, so within the deck, you're going to have about 52. So I have 4 packs of those. And then I have the single packs that I basically came off right now. So this is how the packs would actually look. And they're still wrapped in plastic, by the way. These are brand new. If you went to a store, they'll probably cost you about $1 a piece. And then I have a different extra pack right here. But these are very nice right now. This is why I basically say when it comes to stuff like this, if you have people who come to your house, play games, play poker, you guys do different things, go online and see what the prices are first, because I can sell these for 50 cents a piece, or if anything, I could just sell a pack for $5. And I guarantee you someone says, hey, I got guys that are coming around and playing poker. I don't want to go ahead and have to spend $20 right now, because if you wanted a name brand like that, high quality, it's going to cost you a bit, But to be honest, you know what I could do? I could throw all of that away just like that, just make the video. But again, that's worth it to someone that's going to be buying that, because the casino industry, poker industry is absolutely huge. So I got to be very careful with that. I'm going to put them online. I'm going to say, hey, take everything for $10 to $20. Your pop. just like that, okay? And then we got the other copper scrap here, which is still beautiful right now. That's soldered onto the metal part. So I'm gonna leave that there and throw that into the copper scrap bin right now. What we have here is a special air hose. Now, I had this in my car for a couple of days because someone had thrown it out, and it smells, right? So for those of you who know that this smells, I don't know if it's the air in there or chemical they had, but it kind of smelled. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep this because this is very, very nice right now. To have an air hose like this to send air from one part of the house to another, or to actually use this to pump up a miniature dome or tent, this basically goes out 10 feet each hose. So I got about 20 feet here. Now what I have to do is, if you're watching this video, I need you to tell me how to connect this bottom part, because this is the male coupler. I need to know what the female part for this would be that would connect to this, so I can basically attach another piece to it, because it's already connected here by a special brass brace, and that's not even coming off. So someone actually used a crimp with that, a special crimp, or that came out of the factory like it, and it looks like it's got a 767 stamp on it. Yeah, it's got a certain smell. It smells like rotten eggs, so they might have actually used this for testing air quality, which is good. So they might have had that with Xeon. So I do believe this is the male end part, but I need to find the female end if I wanted to connect it to something. So if you do know, let me know. They have a break in there, which is one of the reasons why they probably threw it out and then it got burned. But if you do watch this video, please let me know what that part would be, if I can get it at Home Depot or AC Moore right now, or Ace Hardware. So let me know. But this is a very good find. I could put this online and sell it for who knows how much, but it looks like they might have had a break and it got a bit old there right now, because I can see, yeah, it's got a bit of a smell to it. So yeah, let me know, because I definitely would keep that. And guess what? We got some regular holes right now. The reason, and I'm going to be honest with you, I keep these, okay? And I'm going to tell you why. If you go to Home Depot or AC Moore, look up tubing, all right? Just go into the tubing section and look and see how much they're going to charge you per foot. Okay, just look at it. Just look at it. Some are going to be 15 cents a foot. Some tubing is actually $2 a foot, which is nuts. Now, medical grade tubing itself is going to be a bit thinner, that they actually use for the bands. Oh, wait a minute. We actually might have a sizing on this. 120 OD ID vinyl. So you got a part number there. But this may not be for the AC part. It says half OD. So that would actually end up being the size there. I would have to get a hot knife and make that straight. This end is straight. This end isn't. So they had used it for something there. But I got a couple feet with this right now. So am I going to throw this out? No, I'm keeping that, because this is very good to have if I wanted to run water down to a tank, or empty out a fish tank or so, or actually fill up a container. I actually have that right now. Now, let's get to the gem of this evening. Now, you guys are like, what the hell is that? Let me explain something to you. This is one of the greatest things I would say I have ever found while dumpster diving. Do you see this? I want to know. Ooh, careful. I want to be careful. Do you see this? This here is a container called Distec, okay? That's the name of the company. Do you see how big this is? This here is bigger than my hand. I got some big hands as a black person, right? But to find this as a dumpster diver is amazing. So you have 1,000 milliliters here, and the bottom of this is curved. So if you wanted to heat it up, you would have to put it into a pan with boiling water, or actually put it there, but you would have to stabilize it because it may fall. 1,000 milliliters, 2,000, all the way up to 10,000 milliliters and more. This container, you hear that? Is glass. This is one of the craziest things I've ever found, because I'm telling you, I went online and I bought a similar one to this, but much smaller, and it was about 20 bucks. To get something this size is industrial, okay? You might even have to do a signature to get it. Now, someone threw this out in a dumpster that I passed by on my way home, and I could actually feel the vinyl etching of this to make sure it was done. So they actually had this printed to the bottom to go all the way up, which is beautiful, beautifully done. And they banded the cover here right now. Okay, so as you can see, there's a hole in it. So they threw it out once they were done with it, but they cleaned it out very well, or they might have actually ordered the wrong one. I have a feeling they did. because what happens is there's a mistake you make. You want a flat bottom so you can put clay on it and heat it up. If you don't have a flat bottom, it's very difficult to use unless you're going to use it for boiling water. Now, they're very, very good containers because you can always measure the amount that you put in it to use carefully. Okay? And I do appreciate that they banded this, but I mean, you threw it out, so you didn't have to do that. Look at how thick that is. Look at how thick. This is very thick right now. This is probably about a centimeter thick, but this is very, very well made. I would not throw something like this out, to be honest. I would see if I could resell it, but it is very, very nice right now. And this is one of the craziest things I found. I can't even let it really stand up on its own because it would definitely tip over. But this is absolutely amazing to have a find like this right now. This will cost a lot of money. I'll go online and see how much it is. Another thing I found here is I got a pot. And I'm very happy to find this size pot because I'm going to use this of the previous videos I've done to actually melt many of the gold foils and the gold ribbon that I have. So I'm going to put this in there, hit it with some gasoline and rubbing alcohol, and just let it sit and burn out. And I'm going to let it pile up in there. And I know this pot is very thick. It'll actually contain a lot of the heat, which is good. So I can let that sit there for an hour or 2 hours there, come back, and then I'll just end up crunching it up into as much dust as I can basically get. All right, because you want to let the fumes go out, but the gold itself, which is the metal, is going to end up staying there because gold is much heavier than plastic. Okay, much heavier. And to have something like this here, this might pop off a bit, or I'll sit there and let it cool, which is definitely good. But to have the pot, this is some of the stuff that the Indian guys. Someone did use this pot, so it's not new. It says gas electric vitro induction. It might have been a special pot that belonged to a set. Then this might go to one of those special stoves right now, like in Visipro or something. All right. Now, last but not least, I did want to show you this. Now, this might be one of the things you're like, well, I would have thrown that out. Here's why this is important. And I'm going to pull this up. This came from a separate container. 10 ml Kymax 51 Kimball USA. Okay. Now, the reason why this is good is that Street Tips in his videos has a glass stirrer. And I love the fact of how long this is. Look at this. This is almost that size. This will be able to reach in there so I can actually stir the contents around. Now, there's a very, very small hole at the top, and there's a very large hole here. So if I was actually using this that way, I would still use gloves, but now I have an ability to stir it, because if I put, let's say, a branch in there, a piece of wood, the nitric acid or the hydrochloric acid, which is a muriatic, and hydrogen peroxide would kind of eat it up a bit. Okay, so it's good to have now I have a glass stirrer. Now I have to be careful because this can break very easy. Okay, see, it's very thin glass, so I got to be careful with how I actually do that. So I have to put that in something with a ruler connected to it so it doesn't break. But I do want to keep that. Okay, so that's what we have here, and this is beautiful, man. Oh man, and I got to be careful because I don't want this thing to break, because if it does, oh boy, careful, I'll be so brokenhearted. So that's what we got today. What work do I have to do? The only thing I really have to do tonight, right now, is I just have to break up the circuit breakers and take out some of this copper wire right now. But that's basically it. I mean, I wanted to give you guys a good video tonight, even though it's running about 14 minutes, but this is amazing. Right off the bat, this is gonna sell and that's gonna sell. I'll have the scrap here, I'll have the copper here, that'll sell, and I'll basically just end up keeping that section over there. But that's it. I mean, oh man, this is beautiful, man. This is money right here. This is money. I love the fact that when I can go out, I can get money immediately for stuff like this. And they're going to end up giving it for the pound. I'd say it's maybe about 50 pounds at who knows how much right now. But I know BBX definitely goes for a bit, because if construction companies can get it for scrap, they get to spend less money, which basically means they can charge the client the same amount and have good profit. All right. So look up Canadian Prepper right now. They're talking about the price of gold is now $2,200 an ounce. Banks are hoarding gold more than ever before. All right, guys, I will let you guys go. But hey, listen, have a beautiful, blessed day. And if you have any questions, put them down below. I'm loving this shit, man. I am loving this shit. Pro Dumpster Diver out.